Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's good. It's working fine. This is pretty cool, isn't it? So the caves of Tamlot, T-H-A-M-L-O-T apparently. Hope your navigation skills are up to scratch. It's Tamlot, not Team Lost. I think they've broken out into sunshine at the other end again. Don't stop paddling, Carol. Do they drop off occasionally, I assume?
Only if not, and that's what tourists do.
Oh, right, okay.
The bottom of that one, not. They're very fragile in their own way.
Just look back at it.
It's excellent, isn't it?
Do you need your camera?
Actually, I've got plenty of video, to be honest. It's good.
The next thing up, which is
You know the film that you ever seen the film with Descent?
yeah.
Yeah, it reminds you of that.
It reminds me of that. Don't like.
Okay, right hand down. It's beautiful in there. Nice to get out the heat, isn't it? There's no elegant way of doing this, is there?
No, none. Leave your jacket.
Well, if we needed warming up, that certainly did, didn't it?
This is my. That's just.
Did you enjoy that, my little angel?
I did.
You're
very
quite a
much.
good little power pack there, aren't you? Well done.
I did enjoy it very
If
much.
it was much further, it would be a real bind.
Yeah, yeah, my shoulder had enough, it has to be said. But mind you, it had enough after about 20 yards, but...
Okay, so when we go to...
Cool and quiet.
So this...
Piwata Cave, Big Skull Devil Cave. Doesn't sound that inviting, does it?
Prehistoric cave paintings had scattered. Wow.
How on earth did they paint that up there? Long paintbrush is my guess.
yeah. These caves have been inhabited for about 4.5 million years. Because caves were the obvious thing in this climate.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Hands. Look at the hands.
Yeah, not many predators here.
Yeah.
What's making that noise? Is that bats?
Can you see them hanging up there?
Yeah,
Oh,
the bats
yeah.
are
Oh,
making
right.
them.
Okay.
They're not
Bit of sonar.
this time.
Okay, so where are we on this picture then, roughly, would you say? Up, just there, okay. And the sea's down here?
Yeah.
Right. Great view again, isn't it? Look at that.
It's a pretty different and alien environment.
Isn't it just?
Yes.
Alien is the word.
But you can make a good living here because of the fish and the monkeys and the number of creatures. And they would eat crocodile, and there's not crocodiles, there's marsh lizards.
Yeah.
And they would eat most of the things you could catch. And mud crabs are 10 a penny, so
Tasty too.
yeah.
Or do they taste of mud?
No, they're
Bit
very
rubbish.
tasty.
And they're off. Right, so I'm in the front, yeah? More paddling, less yakking. Nicely done. Civilised, isn't it? Better with an engine, mind, but we'll plastered up. How was that?
Great.
It's good, wasn't it?
It's so peaceful out there.
It is. It kills your arms, though, doesn't it?
Well, yeah.
Especially when you're the one doing all the work, as I was.
When?
Both ways.
Oh, yeah.
You lying wretch.
And then the RAF was looking for pilots.
Yep. Right, food has come. Check this out. So this looks like chicken.
with
It's not the
ginger.
cashew, that's the ginger one.
Yeah.
How good does that look? And I can tell you, it smells fantastic. Right, go for it. More food has arrived. Check this out. Oh, so cashew nuts. That was just mixed veg, wasn't it?
No, that's the
What's
vegetable
that?
we had the other day, the
Water
Spinach.
stuff. And does it taste good?
It's beautiful.
Right. Well, another absolutely cracking meal. Time to mount up again. Looking forward to getting the kit on, Carol?
No.
Wow, it's looking really hot out there now. Don't forget that. Crucial. Oh man, it is warm. These should have got to move though. Righto, passenger. On your jump. Right. Well, what an absolutely brilliant lunch stop that was. Amazing food. Great fun on that canoe as well. Very chilled, although my shoulders didn't thank me for it. And what a spot. Not somewhere we would have found on our own. But what we need now is a bit of airflow, because it is absolutely cooking. So it's so hot now in the afternoon here, it's about 2 o'clock, and it's nudging its way towards where it's in the high 30s for sure. A bit warmer to be togged up in any bike gear, even though this is my lightest of light summer gear. So we're going to head back to the resort the quickest way and jump in Paul's splendid pool, which is just what the doctor ordered. Well, my first day out with Carol on the back of the Tiger 800. I've been very impressed with this bike actually. It acts really well as a pillion hauler. Don't even know that I've got her on there. As ever, you have to brake a little bit sooner than normal, and when you come to a halt you have to make sure your legs are properly on the deck, but that's just common sense really. Oh, being stationary for very long isn't a good idea. Clear, clear. Some pretty ornate gates there. What's that going to, I wonder? Still waiting for my first close-up view of a temple. I'm assured there will be temples on this trip. Looking forward to seeing a few of those. Once again, this highway in the main has got a cracking surface on it. Not a lot of traffic around here. Just amazing scenery. Look at this valley we're about to go through between these casts. Oh, that's right, this is the bit with a little bit of much welcome shade that's very short-lived. I say it's nice to hear the whistle of a Triumph Triple again. I feel very at home on board a Triumph Triple. Great engine. So we're making good progress now back towards our hotel for the evening again. Back towards Krabi. And this road is absolutely beautiful actually, even though it's a main road. Just flanked by these massive trees. Again, the likes of which you just don't see at home. I don't know what type of trees these are, but they're very nice. And nice and shady as well. With a bit of airflow, it's all very pleasant again. What a cracking day. I never thought I'd be paddling a canoe on the Missenden Flyer. That's something different. What a great thing to do. And that place, if you were a tourist here on your own, very hard to find. Paul was saying that's not really somewhere that tourists would go. And the food there, absolutely amazing. I mean, you saw like that place where we got the boats, it was basically just a shack, but they can certainly cook beautiful Thai food. And then by the time we paid for the boats and for the food, it worked out at about £20 a head. So that was, as I say, the boat hire and the food. and the guide that we had as well. I mean, you can't complain at that, can you? Paul was saying if you wanted to do it on the cheap, you can definitely eat for £1 a meal, no problem. But I suspect you'd be taking your life slightly in your hands, or maybe your stomach slightly in your hands, if you did that, I don't know. But he was saying that the places that the locals eat, you know, day to day, you're looking at that sort of price for a meal. So it can be done. Super, super hot out here now, as I keep saying. So looking forward to getting back and getting in that pool pronto. Maybe even a cool beer. Wow, that was a loud stereo on that bike, come car, come whatever it was. Right, I must be getting an old hand because this looks familiar. Almost back at Krabi, I think. So here we are, home sweet home. With that cool beer and pool awaits. Hope you enjoyed that little ride out today. More to come tomorrow. Right, well, excuse my sweatiness, just been on the bike and it's 35 degrees, so pretty damn warm. But I thought it'd be a good opportunity to show you the setup I've got on my camera, on my helmet cam for this tour. Because as I mentioned, I'm using my new Hero 8 Black. So you will have seen these before, so you know what they look like, but there we go. And for this tour, what I've decided to do is mount it actually on top of the helmet. As you can see, this is my trusty Array Tour X4, my standard touring helmet. In a climate like this where the sun's out all the time, then this peak is great just to keep the sun out of your eyes. So that's why I wanted to use that helmet. Trouble is, with this camera, like the GoPro Hero 7 that I'm recording this on, it has to have this ridiculous adapter for the mic, and trying to find somewhere around here, having the camera out here and then putting the mic adapter around here somewhere was just impractical. So what I decided to do, as you can see, is have it sort of longitudinally mounted and taped on there, and it just keeps everything nice and neat. It means that there's no encouragement for the plug to come out, and then I've just routed the wire for the mic, as you can see, around the side of the helmet, taped it on, and then the mic in the usual way is just inside there. I don't know if you can see that. As close as I can possibly get it to my mouth, and that seems to work fine. So as you can see, it's a bit of a lash up. Where the Hero 8 is an amazing camera. The stabilisation is brilliant, but you know, there are some things about it that don't make it a great vlogging camera. Number one, the adapter for the mic, as I say, and then the other thing, as you can see, I've had to put this bit of duct tape on here. Surprise, surprise, I have a lot of rain here. Look how green it is. So you could get caught in the rain at any time, particularly in the afternoons. So you want to keep the thing waterproof. Normally, without a mic plugged in, it's got a little door on there, and it is waterproof. In fact, you can use the thing underwater without a case or anything. But in this case, what I've had to do, because I want the mic plugged in all the time, is actually put this little bit of duct tape on it just to try and keep the water out. So another bit of a faff, which makes it not ideal as a vlogger's camera. But anyway, you've seen the results of the pictures that I get off of it. It seems to work okay. This may be my new sort of vlogging setup of choice. Anyway, I thought it might just be of interest for me showing you that. Good morning, folks. Welcome. It's I think it's a Thursday morning, Karen, isn't it?
Yes.
It's 8 o'clock on a Thursday morning. Another beautiful day. We're going to do another day trip today. I think we're off up to the north, I think, to see a waterfall. I think that's a plan. It could change, but it sounds good. So first off, a bit of homegrown breakfast. Actually, it's a bit of papaya that I think was grown here, wasn't it, Carol? And some melon.
Yes, cut by Andy.
Go give it a try and see what you think. Anyway, we're going to have some breakfast. We're going to get togged up, and then we'll see you on the bike. How's the papaya?
Lovely.
Excellent. See you shortly. Right, so just before we set off, I thought we'd take this opportunity to have a look at Paul's bike. So, obviously a GS, Paul. How long have you had it?
5 years.
Wow, and so it's very similar vintage to mine. It looks pretty much the same.
Yeah, it was the very first LC liquid cooled in Thailand.
Oh, wow. And if you don't mind me asking, what sort of price are we talking in Thailand for one of these?
We're talking...
18 grand at home?
Yeah, you're talking 30 grand here.
Wow, unbelievable. So I guess you don't see that many on the roads?
Not that many. There's a luxury tax.
Yeah.
The plus side is, of course, they have a much higher second-hand value. I can sell this for 12, 14,000.
Yeah, sure.
But the initial purchase, but it's Thailand. They concentrate on small bikes, scooters, very cheap.
Yeah.
And you want anything else, you've got money.
Exactly. And you're happy with it? I take it if you had it that long.
Yeah, I love it and hate it at the same time.
Yeah.
I hate it because I love it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I would like to have a smaller, lighter bike that could do these things, but nothing else can do what this can do. It churns down highways, it goes off-road, although I don't take it anything more than gravel tracks and bumpy roads, because
Sure.
getting
I'm
them
with you
back
on
up-
that. I'm with you on that. So notice you've got a bit of a strange looking number plate. In fact, 2 number plates on the back
Yeah,
here.
because
How does that
time,
work then?
Every time you go to Malaysia, they cannot read the script.
Right. Okay.
So it's translated into an English bike. A for that one.
Right.
And because they've got 83 letters in the alphabet, that comes in as number 10, because they do ABC through to 26, and then
Right.
they start on the numbers.
My word.
And that is crabby.
Okie dokie. So they're all localised.
Yeah.
Splendid.
So
Excellent.
I have to take the documents to the official place to get them translated, and then
Yep.
they give me a number plate for Malaysia.
Fair dues. Right then, shall we gird our loins, whatever that
We'll
means?
get
I always
ready
say
to
it, but I don't
go.
know what it means. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's jump on then. Excellent. Thank you very much. Right, Carol, ready to rock and roll?
Of course, always
Excellent. It's looking cool there.
looking hot,
Yeah, exactly.
feeling hot.
Bike's ready to go. Alrighty. We are good to go. Just tried that trick of getting Carol on with the stand down. It seemed to work a lot better actually. That was somebody suggested that after one of my previous videos, so thank you whoever suggested that. Much easier. Okay, we're off then on another little day trip. According to the thermometer on here, it's already 27.5 degrees. It's only 8:30 in the morning. Typical November day. The idea of leaving early is obviously to get going before the day gets really hot. It's going to be probably mid-30s again today. So it makes sense to do the bigger miles first thing in the morning. And very flexible plan. Paul runs a very laid-back life, which I very much appreciate. So the plan is actually we're going to ride up, I think, to a beach to start with. See how the time goes, have a bit of lunch, and then come back via the waterfall. But I'm sure it'll be pretty special, whatever. So far, none of these rides have disappointed. Now I've sussed out on the Tiger how to get the various displays up on the dash. I'm actually looking at the coolant temperature, just interested to see how that climbs when we stop. And also I have got the thermometer going now as well. And I've got her in twisty roads mode, although to be honest I can't really tell much difference with that. Anyway, we'll get a few miles under our belt, see how the scenery changes, and I'll speak to you on. Stay tuned. Every time I come past these casts, I'm super impressed. Been here for, well, getting on for a week now, and they're still very, very impressive. Just unlike any other sort of mountain I've ever seen anywhere else. Very distinctive. So the beach we're heading for, Paul said, I think, is something like 13k long, 13 kilometres long. He said, and you'll see no one on it. I think because it's quite remote, quite difficult to get to unless you've got access to a decent motorcycle. So that should be interesting. It has to be said, one thing the beaches aren't around here is empty. We were really lucky. We had a couple of days where we didn't go on the bikes, but we just went out, took a boat actually. We hired a boat and had an absolutely amazing time. Went out and toured some of the islands. You can get one of the traditional boats here. I think it cost us, between the three of us, something like £50 for the day to have the boat to ourselves. We got up really early and got to all the islands and basically what looked like desert island tropical beaches. Absolute, you know, imagine the best ever beach you can think of, and that's what they look like. And we got there before everybody else did. We were like an hour or two ahead of the main boats. But you know, you linger too long, suddenly the beaches fill up, and sadly on some of the more popular islands tourism has rather spoilt it just because they're so crowded, which is a shame. But Paul knows all that stuff. Again, once again, the great thing about having a local guide is he's been able to give us the hints and tips on the best time of day to go to these places, and it really has paid off. Okay, a little bit of filtrage with the pillion, how about that? Okay, so we've made it out of the Ao Nang area now, which is the more touristy area. Not that we're right in the middle of it, and I think this is Krabi town or part of it. which definitely isn't a touristy area. But it's fascinating to ride through these places. So different, as I've said so many times, just to anything I'm used to. To start with, you really do feel like an alien when you come to these places, but it doesn't take long to sort of settle into the groove and just accept the more laid-back way of living that is, well, necessary in these sort of climates. I love the way, for example, they pile lots of people in the back of trucks. Look at that pickup up ahead. I don't know if you can see that on the GoPro. Was there 3 or 4 people in the back of that pickup? Well, why wouldn't you when it's this warm? Fabulous. Pardon? No idea what he said then. See quite a lot of Tesco here, which surprised me. You see it says Tesco Lotus. Turns out that's because Tesco can't just open their own supermarkets here. They have to do like a joint venture with a local business, which I think is a great idea. So Lotus obviously is a local Thai business that Tesco got into bed with and opened some supermarkets. It's something quite wild when you're so familiar with Tesco as a brand to walk around a supermarket in a country that's so alien and see products you're familiar with. Yet to see a little or an Aldi though. Don't think they've filtered this far yet. You certainly need to keep a good sense of situational awareness around here. Bikes and cars can do anything at any time, so you just got to keep your eye on all of them. Good use of the mirrors, etc. But it all seems to somehow just work. Properly out amongst the jungle again, or that's how it feels to me at least. Just taken a right turn off of one of the main roads, and a sign to, I think it was Yao Lung Beach, something like that, Yao Ling Beach. I'm sure I'll see another sign. I'm assuming that might be the long beach that we're talking about. We'll see. There's a sign here, let's just see what this says. Nothing that I can read, entirely in Thai. Oh well. Let's wait to get around this corner and I'll get past this truck. Will do. These road surfaces are just too good. You just wouldn't expect it in a country like this, would you? But there we go. So far, I've just not seen any bad road surfaces. Cow Beach, K-A-O. It's interesting here, you might notice that Paul was indicating right there, even though the road continued round to the right. I've noticed the locals do that as well. That's obviously the convention. If there's a big deviation in the road, you indicate even if you're staying actually on the same bit of road. Sort of makes sense if you think about it. Just lets people know your intentions regardless. So that's another example. That road actually carried on round there, yet we indicated to go around it. So I'm doing the same thing. Ooh, nice to get on a few twisties. So it's still El Scorcho, 27.5 degrees out there according to the bike thermo, and I've no reason to disbelieve it feels really hot. But say, these jackets that me and Carol wear, and these Blauer ones, absolutely brilliant. I'd never heard of this manufacturer, B-L-A-U-E-R, until I got sent this summer jacket some months back actually, and I've been riding with it a lot this summer and in very hot temperatures, and it's bar none the best summer jacket I've ever had. I think I've probably said that before. I was so impressed. In fact, we got Carol one for this tour. They're comfortable to wear. They're not particularly abrasion resistant, but they do have all the padding in the right places, elbow, shoulder pads, and they're made of sort of a neoprene material that means as the air lands on it, it keeps you nice and cool. Anyway, in the fullness of time, I will do a full review on the jacket. I've been very impressed on these tours this year when I've been to hot countries in it, and at home for that matter. So we've rolled on for another 10-15 miles. Very different feel to the area around here, much less built up, as you can see, less urban. Impressive looking phone masts up here. I have to say the phone service has been incredible here. Did buy a local SIM card, but it seems to have pretty good coverage. Yeah, much flatter around here, much more dense looking was going to say forest, but I guess jungle is a better description. Sure am glad Paul knows where he's going. Aha! And now we see the beach. Yeah, he was right when he said it was fairly inaccessible. Check this out. Whew. So that was quite a ride. Quite busy through there to start with, wasn't it? Through the town area, quite a lot of that. Yeah.
8 o'clock in the morning rush hour.
Of course. I hadn't factored that in. So what's this beach called?
This is Hadiao,
Okay.
which is a 15-kilometre long beach with nobody on it.
Sounds like my sort of beach. Right.
But it doesn't get clean because there's no tourists. So
Fair enough.
I quite like it because just walking on there you can find all sorts of things washed up.
Right, let's go and have a look then. So jackets off, I think. Having fun there, Carol?
Peeling it off.
Dry hand, or shall I just film you? I'll film you struggling.
Oh, thank you.
So, bit of beach action. So yeah, quite a bit of detritus washed up on this one. Because it's not a touristy one. But it is massive. What you found, kids? Oh wow, look at those.
Paul found a complete shell.
Look at that.
I found the broken one. It's rather splendid.
That is splendid, isn't it?
What an English word. What we love. Look at that one.
Wow.
And that one.
Oh.
That's quite a good one as well. Look at that.
Yeah. You can buy these at home, can't
How
you?
exciting.
Some of them will have
Look at that.
Creatures in.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And the beach.
Who would have thought we'd get so excited about shells on the beach
The
again?
beach goes all the way to the end there. And then down there another 5 or 6 kilometres.
Look. I've become a child.
Yeah.
Oh, it's looking a bit inviting actually, isn't it, this
And
sea?
then that's Riley over there.
Right.
So where we were, at the point there is where we were on the boat. And if it was clearer, you could just see the 2 islands out there that we were swimming at.
Yeah.
I prefer
Hazy old
the
day,
two
isn't it?
islands to Riley.
And that's the seed pod.
Oh,
The
for the
mangrove.
right. That's what we saw planting themselves up.
Yes. So
Almost.
took a soft
There's
sand.
a bigger one there.
I love these patterns on the sand. So presumably these are crabs live down here.
The crabs dig a hole, a fresh hole every day, and they just use the back legs to throw the sand out.
Yeah.
If it's windy, you'll just see them all patterned to one side, but they make some surprising
Impressive, aren't
patterns.
they?
Like,
These little balls are just
Yeah.
perfectly formed. Don't say anything, you.
That one's not very good by comparison.
You're in your element, aren't you? You love a bit of shell collecting. It's like
Many
it's like you're 5 again.
Many hours spent with our girls on the beach. Aren't they?
Mind you, the pickings are somewhat richer than at home, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, it's very easy here.
Bit of sponge there. What is quite shocking is the amount of man-made detritus on here as well. I mean, every beach is the same these days, but because this isn't cleaned, you get to see what's actually coming out of the water. There's lots of bits of plastic bottles, the odd flip-flop, and this is presumably just representative of what's in the sea everywhere. It's a real shame.
Quite a lot of it up there.
right.
Okay, Carol, you're going to have to put your booty back. You can't take it with you, I'm afraid.
No, it has to go.
Your little collection, you've enjoyed yourself, but the fun stops now.
Feels, yeah, can't take it away.
They like to eat these.
Fair enough. Bit crunchy, one would imagine.
Yeah,
Isn't that gorgeous?
it's a whelk.
Isn't that absolutely lovely?
Yeah, amazing.
Not quite sure what lives in those, but it must be quite big and quite meaty.
Yummy.
Crunch away. Right, let's go and get some drink somewhere. Thank you. Excellent. Cheers. I love this way of serving it.